Okay, so now we're up to KvK 7, I believe, is what's coming up next, and that means that we just started our recruiting off-season in 2638. So as a courtesy to my kingdom, and as part of the leadership, I suppose, I'm going to make a video demonstrating what this kingdom is, how you could help us if you're interested in migrating, and how it's operated, like MGEs and DKP systems and requirements and all that good stuff, as well as like spend levels and other small stuff like that. So if you're interested in coming to 2638, this is the video for you. If not, well, you can stick around and learn about what I have to go through every single day. So anyway, let's hop into it. Okay, so just to start off, I'm just going to go over the kingdom's history and kind of how we've done as a kingdom and how successful we've been and my journey. So when I started Rise of Kingdoms, I don't know, 3 years ago almost at this point, right? I was in a very dead kingdom. It was 2089, I believe, was my very first kingdom. They've since picked it up a little bit, and I think they're doing fine now. But it's nowhere close to the kind of success that this kingdom has had. And I migrated back to 2638 into KvK 2, and my stats were terrible, let me tell you. So I was a complete free-to-play, my kingdom was dead, we didn't fight much, and I had kind of been hoarding so that I could have this glow-up, if you will, win a Zenith of Power, start contributing the way that I wanted to, and fortunately the leadership team here saw that, and they were able to let me in. Since then, you can see that we got our star. So season 2, the very first season that I came here, you know, no coincidence. I'm kidding. We got our star. We were the winner of that. We had the most DKP points. We were a very strong fighting kingdom. And then season 3, this was the kind of farming kingdom in KvK that we don't like to see, but we won it anyway. We were the only real chance for the star. No one else really showed up. And then our last 2 KvKs, we have done heroic anthems, and we have won and got the star. One of those was with LOD, who just fell apart, and I have a video kind of breaking down their whole story right above me, which might not be too good. And then 2 is the second heroic anthem that we won just this past recently that I streamed a bunch of. So you can go back and watch those if you want. The one that we lost was our very first season of Conquest KvK. We ended up going against Fame. I forget their exact kingdom number, but I know they were a very, very, very strong alliance. We fought our best, but we did not win. So all that being said, the kingdom has a history for being successful and being a powerhouse and I like to term it the punching kingdom. So whenever we get matched with other kingdoms, like, we understand that 2638 has a role to play, and that role is going to be to carry other kingdoms, right? We know that that's the kind of kingdom we are. Not saying that our allies don't do well, like in this past KvK, our allies did a fine job, but I'm just saying that 2638 really has that power to it. Next thing, I'm just going to kind of go over the layout of the kingdom. I mean, there's nothing much to see. We've got one main alliance. It is a B seed kingdom, so nothing too crazy there. We do have farms like all over the place. So OBR is a farm, ORR is a farm, OWR, just kidding. That's our main alliance. And then we have OVR, if I can find it. It's this one right here. OVR is another farm. And then OSR is another. Anyway, we have a lot of farm alliances and a lot of shells because you got to build up those credits and store those farms somewhere, right? So again, smaller kingdom, but that makes sense, right? We're on the B seed. We are currently, I think, ranked within the top 10 or 15 B seeds on the 1093 scanner. I could pull that up right now, but I don't have it up, so I'm not going to, but you can go and check for yourself. I'll have a link down in the description below. It's a pretty awesome tool. It's a little outdated every once in a while, but still it gives you a good gauge of which kingdoms are the best. So as far as spend level goes, we are a spending alliance. I mean, it's off season right now, so you're not going to see as many gold chests, but I think when we are looking at mountain warfares and crystal tech and all that stuff, I mean, we've got a good 30 to 40 gold chests a week sometimes, and that is quite nice. Obviously, that's in the very height of our spending. We're probably going to get another kind of round of that kind of spending with this recharge coming up, and where is it? It's the camel event. That is pretty much, yeah, Desert Tracks. This is the best event besides, I think, the Card King, not Card King, whatever you collect cards and you get a bunch of gold heads. It usually comes around Christmas time, but it's this and that event that are the best time to really go out and buy the whole gold chest for the bundles, and you'll probably see a good amount here in OWR. So that's just the overview of the kingdom. Again, when we're full power, we have about 10 bill. Obviously, it's Thursday, so it's the day that everyone's going into their ARC alliances, so we're a little bit lower on power. We're at 8.3, but we just broke... Actually, going into last KvK, we were below 9, and now we're above 10. So if that... And that was after a KvK, so if that tells you anything about the players in this kingdom, it's pretty good. As far as leadership goes, it's pretty much most of the people you see up here are council members, right? Quan, myself, Beast, Ivan, Arzak. We've got Lependix and people down here. If I could find them, they might be offline, but I'm not going to go searching for them. But they do a really great job. And the next thing that leads me into is the rules of the kingdom and kind of how we operate. So we're going to go over the DKP system, and I'm going to hop over to that real quick in just a second. Alright, and now here we are in our Discord channel where the DKP is explained and you've got the minimums that are required for each player. Okay, so I know you can't see because my camera is blocking a little bit of it, but we're just going to scroll down, right? So these are all how MGE is decided and how much DKP it'll cost. You've got your points for dead troops that you kill, and then you have the list of contribution factors, which you get more if you're a rally leader title giver, which we have a bot now, so I guess it's not entirely true. But you've got council factors, data managing, diplomacy, migration, and you've got like rally leads and other stuff. And then lastly, these are the player minimums. So for most of you, this is what you're worried about, or you shouldn't be worried about, because your goal should never be just to hit the minimums. It should be to go way past the minimums. But basically, just for example, let's use the 50 million power example here. So let's say you're 50 million power, so you're here. You would take your player power minus 20 million, so you'd be at 30 million. You'd multiply that by 0.5 if it's an easy KvK. So let's say you are at 15 million, and you would need 15 million DKP points in order to not be put on the migration list or etc. And so in order to get those points, if you killed 15 million T4 troops, you would be set, you'd be good to go. If you killed 7.5 million T5 troops, you would be good to go. If you got deads, meaning you were filling rallies and whatever, those are worth a lot more points. Okay, so here we are in the total DKP rankings. Okay, this is all from KvK. Every single point you get is from a KvK, and these are all the people who have points. Now, the people in the negatives are people who A, didn't meet minimums, or are farms that are subtracted from their mains. And you can actually see we have a Warren report, and not to call anybody out in our kingdom, but these are the people who were not able to hit our minimums last KvK, or were ridiculously below our minimums, and we're forcing them to migrate. Now, we do have a leniency policy to where if you get 70% of your minimums on your first time here, that's okay, we'll give you another chance. But if you are in the red, essentially, or even like orange area, you're really dragging us down. And you will be zeroed or forced to migrate. That's kind of how this works. We also track your alliance mobilization. So we are currently at the very highest level of difficulty in the alliance mobilization event. This is where every month or so you get like 15 free heads and a bunch of other stuff. It's really nice. And we track that. So if you don't participate, you will not be able to participate going in the future. Again, this is a alliance and a system that we really all want to benefit from and be as strong as possible as a whole. So now that we're back in game, okay, what kind of players are we looking for? Like, if you were going to apply, would I accept you? Okay, I'm strict, I'm a hard ass. Okay, that's just me. I know that my expectations are probably pretty high, right? My kills last KvK were pretty disgusting. I tried my ass off. I traded really well, and I got like 2-point-something billion kill points. You don't have to do that, okay, if you want to come to 2638. But I will say we are looking for fighters, and I know everybody says that, but if you are at 1, or let's say 100 million power, and you have the same idea as me, okay, and your kill points show a 1 instead of a 5, you're not a fighter, man. You're not. And It's just, that's just how that is. If you're a bot account, we really don't love people who buy their accounts to come to 2638 either, because they have no attachment to that account, and generally they just throw it away or resell it, and then we're just left with a dead account in the kingdom. Okay, another thing, if this number is high, okay, your kill number, if it's high, but your ID, which my ID is what, 779, okay, that's about a 3-year-old account. If your ID like has a digit less than mine, meaning you were one of the first people to start this game and you have my same kill points, like, you're not going to be accepted either. It doesn't matter if you've got a high overall kills or not. We're looking for KvK to KvK basis. We want you to come in, especially migrants, to hit at least 30 million kills. In my experience, there is no excuse not to hit 30 million kills in KvK unless you are like a garrison lead or a rally lead, and that's all you're doing. I'd say maybe you have an excuse if you're like 55 million power below, but as soon as you hit that threshold, man, you should be... I hit 30 million kills with 1 March this KvK, and I used 6, right? You can do it. You just need to put in the time, okay? We're looking for people who log in every day. We have another thing, right? So if you are offline for, I don't know if I have, yeah. So if you're offline for 4 days, you're immediately removed. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. Even if you're going on vacation, I understand you're not going to be zeroed for it. You have to talk to your rank 4s, but you're going to be removed from the main alliance. We only want active players in our main alliance. I don't mean to scare anybody off, guys. It's not like this is a drill regimen. This is not like the military, okay? But Rise of Kingdoms is becoming a stricter and stricter game to be successful at, because the population, at least at the very high end, is dwindling. And so if we continue to just let anybody in, then the kingdom will die. And we need the best fighters that we can possibly get. And hopefully that's you out there, right? And I'd love to fight alongside a lot of you guys. I mean, we hop in Discord all the time, and we, hang out and fight in KvK, and it's a blast. And you can go watch my streams if you want to see some of that. But again, hit your minimums, come in, have a good time. Ideally, you're a rally lead or garrison captain, because we need some of those, especially with this new infantry meta coming out. Oof, goodness. So if you're an infantry rally lead or garrison captain, hit us up. But either way, so that is 2638 in a nutshell. So, and one of the last things I want to mention before I wrap up this video is the most important thing that will be determining whether or not we'll accept you is going to be your previous KvK performance, okay? I don't care if you're a spender, I don't care if you max crystal tech, I don't care if you kill 0 barbs the entire KvK, but if you got a billion kill points last KvK and you can prove to me that you're that original account owner, right? Or that you care enough to be tracking the amount of kills you got from your previous KvK, then that is a huge indicator that we want you, okay? Look, we have a ton of low spenders who do really well in this kingdom. I think 3 or 4 of our top 10 in DKP last KvK were actually like just bought, the $20 worth and then maybe some pop-ups, and that was it. And they were pulling down like 700 million kill points, 400 million kill points, 500 million kill points, right? Just because they're active, they're online, they're engaged, okay? That's what we want. I don't care if you max tech in a KvK and you get 20 million kills. I'd rather have a free-to-play, straight up. I do not care if you do that. We need people who are dedicated to the game, okay? So I will have a link to our migration Discord down below. You can go ahead and click on it. I would highly recommend applying. If this sounds like the kind of kingdom that you're interested in playing in, then please let us know. You can message me in-game. I do try to respond to every message that I get, and I'll forward you over to the Discord and just talk to you as a human being, and we can get on call. We can just do over voice or over text or whatever you want. So anyway, if you're interested, don't hesitate to apply. We'll get back to you as soon as possible. And yeah, I hope to see you guys here. So I will see you guys around and in the next one. I think I'm gonna go rest for a bit. I've put out 4 videos in the past like 5 days. Or let's change that up. By this time it'll be like 2 days. Anyway, I'm gonna go take a break, but regardless, I hope to see some of you guys in our kingdom very, very soon. Peace out.